Alright guys, welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. Again, we're doing another combo review, this time for two films, Snake Eyes and Reminiscence. So first up is a supposed prequel to a character from a long-running franchise that I don't think anyone was particularly yearning to have his own standalone movie, but anyway, here it is, Snake Eyes.
Every warrior has a beginning.
Snake Eyes is typically a mute, masked ninja who has a badass suit and fights for the greater good. So Paramount Pictures and director Robert Schwentke decided to ignore all of that and just do their own thing. The film follows Snake Eyes, who is fixated on avenging his father's death, which leads him running into Tommy, the heir apparent of the Arashikage clan. There he hones his fighting skills to defend the clan from Yakuza and the Sinister Cobra. Going into Snake Eyes, I was expecting this to suck. The trailers were abysmal. There was very little promotion that Paramount were kind of plugging for this film. I just didn't see a need really for it to exist. Plus, it tanked overseas when it came out in America a few weeks ago, so yeah. I went in expecting the worst, and coming out of Snake Eyes, I'll admit, it is not a train wreck by any stretch of the imagination. There are plenty of worse films that I have seen over this year. It's not good though. Although starting out with what worked best, it is definitely Andrew Koji as Tommy, or Storm Shadow. He is by far the most interesting character in the film and is actually given layers to him. Koji works well, giving a strong performance, and more than handles himself come the action scenes. And some of the choreography is quite impressive too. You can tell that the actors and the stunt team working on the film really put in a lot of effort to make these ninja fights as great as they could. The cinematography, on the other hand, ruins all of that work entirely. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, shaky cam has made a return with vengeance. Almost every action scene in this film is plagued with shaky cam. It ruins the choreography that the team have put into this, and it is disorienting to sit through. Henry Golding, I'm glad to see him in a lead role like this, but he really struggles to bring anything to the character of Snake Eyes, and that's partially because of how thinly written the character of Snake Eyes is. Plus, he acts like a total dickhead for the majority of the film. He's meant to be the hero, and I ended up siding with Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow for like all of the film. And once again, Hollywood have found yet another way to completely misuse Iko Uwais, who is one of, if not the greatest martial art actor working today, and he's just squandered. The plot gets frustratingly disjointed in more than a few ways. It feels like there are 5 separate storylines running in tandem at points. And somehow, despite getting her own poster, Samara Weaving, who plays Scarlet, quite a well-known G.I. Joe character, is hardly in this film. You could take her out entirely and the movie won't change. Snake Eyes isn't the worst movie I've seen all year, not by a long shot, but it does feel like the most pointless. The action might be good, but we couldn't bloody see it. Storm Shadow works, but Golding as Snake Eyes falls flat, and they honestly set things up for a sequel. Aww. Bless. I'm gonna give Snake Eyes a 4.5 out of 10. Now, onto an original film made by one of the creators of Westworld, one of the best shows on TV right now, and that is Reminiscence.
When the waters began to rise and war broke out, nostalgia became a way of life. There wasn't a lot to look forward to. So people began looking back. Nothing is more addictive than the past.
Reminiscence is set in a not too distant future where rising sea levels have flooded cities across the world and the population is more divided than ever. Hugh Jackman plays a former veteran named Nick who now works as a private investigator with a nifty little gadget that allows participants to relive their own memories. When Rebecca Ferguson's femme fatale enters his establishment, Nick finds himself embroiled in a constantly evolving mystery. I was so intrigued by this film and its concept, and that isn't just to do with the names behind and in front of the camera. It's that it's an original film. It felt like an idea that we'd never fully explored before, and that is what pulled me in. Plus, with Warner Brothers seemingly fully backing this film, it seemed like we had like a proper hit on our hands. And the highest praise that I can give Reminiscence is the intrigue spread across this world that they've created. From the details of cities being flooded, scorching temperatures meaning that everyone goes to sleep in the day and is awake during the night, the rich separating themselves off from the poor, and there are also hints towards some sort of war that went on. You can tell that there are plenty of stories spread throughout this world that are fascinating, and yet we don't focus on any of them, and we choose to focus on a very mundane noir romance mystery. Because whilst it may have been advertised like an Inception-style blockbuster, like people diving into your memories to find hidden details, it's not quite that. It's a lot more of a slower burn, more of an investigative drama that owes a lot more to Blade Runner, even down to its narration, but it just doesn't feel anywhere near as groundbreaking. So the story does center around a mystery, but there are so many moving parts to it that it never fully engrosses you. Jackman's character, you can sense that there's some sort of depth to him, but again, that's never fully explored. Rebecca Ferguson is solid as ever. She's playing the femme fatale, almost, if you will, but she can't, or her character just can't avoid certain stereotypes that you come across in a noir thriller, and the same goes for the film too. It falls into a lot of generic traps. Thandaway Newton, as she always is, it was one of the best parts of the film. She had easily the most interesting character, and the director, Lisa Joy, this is her first feature film, and it's assuredly directed. She's got a great eye, and the visual effects are very impressive, but it's the screenplay. It's not as original as I think I wanted it to feel. It's not as exciting. It didn't compel me as much. It's a very by-the-numbers kind of thriller. And Jackman's character provides this narration that's so expository in nature that it feels like they're spoon-feeding us the information, when I actually think kind of leaving us to piece it together would have been far more effective. I'm quite underwhelmed with Reminiscence, because with this world that Lisa Joy and her team have created, there is certainly heaps of potential. But the over-reliance on classic noir tropes and mundane plot made this a fairly forgettable film. I'm going to give Reminiscence a 5 out of 10. Anyway guys, those were my thoughts on Snake Eyes and Reminiscence. Let me know, have you had a chance to see these films yet? What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.